You are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and thank you to the witnesses for being here. You know, as we all aim to fight and end anti-Semitism once and for all, there is language and there are actions and incidents that take place that are clearly anti-Semitic. And then there are others where someone may have said something or done something that they didn't quite understand, that was wrong. And what I'm hearing from students and people in my district who go to Columbia is they feel that there's not the space for divergent opinions or thoughts as it relates to the state of Israel or what's happening in Gaza right now. Can you speak to how different points of view or perspectives as it relates to the war in Gaza, criticism of the state of Israel, or something like that, that is not anti-Semitic, but just a difference of opinion from other students? How is that adjudicated or confronted? How are we creating spaces for critical dialogue and discussion that may make people feel uncomfortable, but are not like hateful? Can you speak to that first, Madam President, and then we could just go down the line and everyone gives brief comments to that.
Congressman Bowman, it's a very good point. We launched at the end of last semester a program called Dialogue Across Difference to do exactly what you're saying, which is to give people tools to have difficult conversations where people disagree but are respectful. And so there have been maybe 2 to 3 events per week at Columbia for students and for faculty.
Except per week?
Yes.
Okay.
To practice that sort and model that sort of behavior.
And are those events well attended by students with different points of view coming together and having this dialogue?
That is happening more. I will be candid with you that immediately after October 7th, the atmosphere was tense.
It was very hard. Yeah.
But that's changing, and I'm doing it myself personally in my listening sessions with students from both sides of the issues. And again, those have been very emotional.
Okay.
I've had students in tears in those sessions.
Can we go down quickly? I know I don't have much time. Can we just quickly respond to that? Yep.
Thank you for the question. We are committed to ensuring that students can articulate competing points of view about extremely important issues like the Middle East, like the current war, like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And it would be a really, really unfortunate thing and a departure from our mission as a university if we were suppressing points of view. We absolutely don't want to do that. And at the same time, we have free speech. We also have the responsibility not to engage in discrimination.
Of course. Now, the time is moving, so I'm going to let you answer, but I'm going to shift slightly. How are we also fighting other forms of hate, including Islamophobia at the university, which I've heard is happening also at the university as well? Can you two quickly respond to that?
We have, look, we're listening to all of our students. All hate is just, should not be welcome at Columbia. I've personally met with a large number of Jewish students and a lot of our Muslim students from the region who do feel stressed and scared about walking to class. I mean, we have to listen. And we have to allow for political debate. As Professor Shizer said, that's a bedrock of our democracy. I spent 5 years living in the Soviet Union. I can tell you, you don't want no political debate.
Right.
You don't want the result of that. But we can't let political debate cross into hate. We have a special job as an educational institution.
Absolutely. Mr. Greenwald.
All hate is abhorrent. Further, the lessons that we're learning coming out of the task force, those principles will be applicable not just to anti-Semitism, but to other forms of hate as well.
Absolutely. Just to ensure that there are additional voices part of this conversation, I want to enter for the record, I have a letter here from over 600 faculty, staff, students, parents, and alumni of Columbia and Barnard expressing their commitment to open, honest inquiry on campus. I ask unanimous consent to enter the letter into the record.
Without objection.
And in the last 15 seconds that I have, Madam President, can you respond to there was a so-called chemical attack on campus at one point targeting so-called pro-Palestinian students. Can you quickly respond to that?
it appears to have been an odorous substance that was sprayed on demonstrators. The individuals involved have been suspended from Columbia.
Suspended from the school, so they no longer attend the school, the students who
Correct.
were involved?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And I yield back.
Thank you. Mrs. Steele.